Okay, we are in chapter 11. We're actually going straight to section 2. We're going to skip section 1. So, we are talking surface area and volume but in this chapter, but we are just doing surface area in this section. So if I take a rectangle and I want to find its area, I just do base times height. Now, it really doesn't matter which one I pick as the base, which one I pick as the height. This is things we should be used to. But if I have a three-dimensional figure, and I want to get the surface area of this three-dimensional figure, that is the area of this side. So the front, the right, the top, the bottom, the left, that's this section over here, and the back. We want to get the areas of each of those faces. Now they give you a nice little, they give you equations and things, but we have some other ideas that go along with it, and I want to make sure I write it the way they write it. Okay. Now let's say that this down here, this shaded spot, is the base of this prism. This is a rectangular prism. It'd be the same as if it were a triangular prism. We call this a base. Now if I've picked this to be my base, then this is also a base. So it has two bases. Now let's say this is 4, 4, and 8, just to give me some numbers to work with here. To find the surface area of this, I first need to find what's called the lateral area. The lateral area is all the sides that are not the base. So I have this base and this base. We don't count those in the lateral area. So the lateral area you can think of as like the sides of a box, and rather than the top or the bottom. So the lateral area of the prism is equal to the perimeter, so the perimeter of the base, times the height. So I take 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 16, times the height, which is 8. And that's the lateral area, which means I do 8 times 16, so 6 times 8 is 48, 120, so this is 128. And this would be, if I had units, let's make them centimeters. This would be centimeters squared. That's my lateral area of this prism. My surface area is the lateral area plus the bases. So I have to take, and that's the area of the bases, this big B equals base. Area of the base, rather. So the area of the base here is 16. It's the same on the top and bottom, so I do the lateral area, which is 128. We just found that over here. Then two bases. One base is 16, two bases equals 32 centimeters squared. So the surface area of this is 128 plus 32, which is 160 centimeters squared. So that's for a prism. Now the same thing is true if I'm talking about a triangular base. I didn't draw a very good triangular base, but that's okay. And then that line would also be dotted, and that line would be dotted. So we have, I would do the bases. The only rule is that the bases must be parallel to each other. So I can't pick the sides of this triangular prism to be bases. It has to be the triangles. But here, these are parallel, so I can pick these two, or I could pick the front, the left and the right, or I could pick the front and the back. Any of those could be bases. Now the other thing we're doing is, as I move the whole cart, so flip it, is surface area of a cylinder. So if you don't know what a cylinder is, looks like that, vaguely. I'll make it a little better than that. And the idea is the same, except the lateral area is going to be the circumference times the height. And in fact, I think they write it in your book as just 2 pi r times the height. They write it like this. It's the same thing as saying circumference. So if this has a radius of 4 centimeters, a height of 10 centimeters. If I wanted to find the lateral area of this in terms of pi, the radius is 4. So I do 2 times the radius times the height. So I have 4 times 2, which is 8, times 10, which is 80. So it is 80 pi centimeters squared for the lateral area. The surface area of a cylinder, this is a cylinder in case you forgot already. Surface area of the cylinder is the lateral area plus the area of the 2 bases again. So I have to do lateral area, which I already have. So I'm just going to leave that there. Then to find the area of the base, I do pi r squared. So I have pi r squared, which is 16 pi, but I have to do it twice, remember, so it's 2 times the base. So I'm going to do 16 pi centimeters squared, and this is centimeters squared as well. But I have to double that, so I have 32 pi centimeters squared. So altogether, my surface area equals 112. Sorry if you missed all this number I just wrote in. 112 centimeters squared, or 112 pi centimeters squared. And that would be my surface area. Now, some questions will ask for the lateral area. You need to read the directions carefully. But other than that, you should be good to go. Good luck. Have fun. Don't die. Don't take any wooden nickels.